Let's find out, chat. Let's find out how this draft went. Of course, as always, we got a couple of things to cover. First and foremost, Home Run Derby at Angel Stadium. Surprise, surprise, we still do not have our first representative, but look at Lamont Schiff. Another first baseman who is fucking elite that we could have drafted. I hate it here. I hate it here. All right, last year, for the first time, Juan Rodriguez, the closer. Jesus, that's a good fucking player, too. Last year, we had 3 All-Stars, which was awesome. This year, Paul Lars Ulrich is going to start the game. Let's see. Oh, no. It's not looking good, chat. Dominic Wilkes, second year in a row at the All-Star game for our catcher. 320 batting average this year. What a man. Steven Reeves. I totally read it as Steven Steves. Who else do we have? Is he our only one? He is our only All-Star this year. It's a little bit disappointing. All right, first day to sign draft picks. Before that, let's take a look at the rosters. See if we got any call-ups to make. And we do. Sergio Cortez. Some great development for Sergio so far this year. And the young shortstop will be making his way. Drew, who spells it Drew? Oh, so the reason why Drew Jones' name is D-R-U-W is his dad's name is Andrew, spelled with Drew the same way. Why Andrew Jones' parents and Drew Jones' grandparents named, who the fuck knows? Sergio Cortez, you are going up to Double-A. Nunez is close, but not quite there. Triple-A, Corey Wills on his way to Triple-A. So is Mr. Fritas. And then in Triple-A, oh baby, we got a couple of options who are ready for the Major League. We do. We do indeed. So Lewis Courtney, welcome to the majors. Eloy Hidalgo, welcome to the majors. And Chris Martins as well. As we will send down Andrew Bechtold. Lionel Warren. And let's send down... We're going to have so many fucking pitchers. Let's send down Mickey Moniak. It's going to be a pretty fucked up setup for now, but it's okay. It's all right. So let's see. $12 million to make this happen. So these were our top 3 picks. So we start off with Harper Rivera, who signs. He is either going to be as good as advertised or he is going to be dog water. No in between. No in between. Frank Brandt, who we selected 36th, declines the initial offer. Theodore Hughes declines the initial offer. Francisco Fernandez declines the initial offer. Okay. We got some people playing hardball here then. Unfortunately, let's go after the 3 that need a little bit of work here. What's worse, dog water or hot dog water? I agree, hot dog flavored water is the worst. Yeah, I had a feeling we'd have too many pitchers. Fuck. We've reached that point already, huh? Hate to say it, but Chris Martins will send you back down to AAA. And we'll send that reliever down. Had a feeling that was going to happen. And let's go back over and let's just bump up Mickey Moniak to the majors again. Had a feeling that was going to happen and that we'd have too many pitchers. I knew we were very, very close to the limit. I didn't know we were actually at the limit. Now the Curve and Double-A have too many pitchers. Fuck me. Elliott down to Single-A. Nunez wasn't ready to go. Go for Jason Funk. Funk it up. All right, another day to sign draft picks. So take 2 for Brandt and company. Frank Brandt declines again. Hughes signs this time. Theodore Hughes, welcome aboard. And Francisco Fernandez says no as well. Okay. Let's get Hahn in there. Burnett and Rivas. We are going to have our work cut out for us again. Double check the lineups in a minute as well. All right. One more time. One more go around for these dudes. We look at Brandt. Declines again. Fernandez declines again. It is not the first time we hit over 30 wins. We had a very good season last year. Very good season last year by our standards. We are running out of time to sign these dudes. I'm getting a little bit nervous. Let's go over to the Major League rotation really quickly. Obviously get Howard O'Neill the hell out of there. That's still looking good. Fielder's a C potential. Strickland, do we have another C potential in the mix? No, we do not. Yeah, the one time he fell asleep early, exactly. It ended up going well for us. We'll go for O'Neill and Hidalgo as the long relievers. Triple A. That looks fine. Double A. Did our long relievers have more innings pitched than anybody else? So, works for me. Lineup-wise, Major League level, Lewis Courtney. I don't think we have a spot for you, Lewis, every day. Gutierrez keeps dropping. That D potential hasn't changed. Gutierrez keeps dropping. He sucks defensively, but Juan Guerrero is going to play second. And we're going to put Lewis Courtney at DH just to get Courtney those at-bats. Yeah, Juan Guerrero is abysmal defensively, but I need people to have playing time. And then here, the only guy that we're worried about is Wells again. Or Wills, and he can be swapped out for a Rabu. Because a Rabu is not someone that we care about. All right, we look fine. We look fine from there, at least. Good. Good. Rivas. Signs. Good. Frank Rembrandt. Signs. And Francisco Fernandez. Declines again. Focus on these three. We actually have a little bit more time. Dylan Cease gets traded. We have a little bit more time than I would have thought. Mr. Fernandez declines again. Francisco, you're a pain in my ass. Ken Hahn says yes. So now we do have a little bit more of an idea how much money we'll have left over. Big trade to send Dustin May to the Marlins. All right. Burnett declines. Fernandez declines. Well, our last two draft picks, it might go down to the wire for them. Fernandez still declines. What about Burnett? We'll give him slot value. Burnett signs. So, fifth round pick, Francisco Fernandez might just go down as our second ever player to walk away. And he does. We are 87% interest. And he said no. So Francisco Fernandez walks away. But if we were to lose anybody, hey, round 5, round 6, not the worst thing in the world. A little bit frustrating because we offered him a shitload of money. But it is what it is. So with that, chat, the moment of truth. The moment of truth. Are we ready? Is this closer as good as advertised? Yes and no. He is a 75 overall, but somehow he's only a B potential. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. It's still a phenomenal player. I have no idea how he isn't an A potential. He must have like 89, so he's pretty damn close to an A potential. Odd pitch selection? It's true, no breaking ball, but I mean, all 3 are pitches with movement, so. I don't regret it because, Jesus, who else were we going to get? But again, he is maybe not quite the generational talent we thought he was going to be. Frank Brandt. Okay. 63 overall, B potential, not a killer. The fact that he's 23 and only has 3 pitches, that's a little bit of a killer. Not an abysmal pick, but yeah, not an amazing pick either. He'll be in his late 20s by the time he makes the majors, if that. So. Burned by Ohio again. Ken Hahn for a best guess player. 20 being a 54 is not abysmal. It's obviously not amazing. So 3 picks so far. Not generational, obviously still great. Not amazing, but not terrible. Not amazing, but not terrible. Theodore Hughes, unfortunately, long reliever at best. 22C and a 60. There's Charles Rivas in right, who is kind of in the same boat as the other guy. 22B and a 61. It'll take him a little bit to be major league ready, but again, not terrible. And the first baseman, Maurice Burnett, 20A, but a 44 overall. God, Rivera is an 89 potential, 1 away from an A. And Hughes is actually 1 away from a B. So in reality, not a bad draft. Not a bad draft. And yeah, look at that. The odds, by the way, of Rivera. 20% chance. That's my luck right there. That is my luck. Perfectly visualized. Well, we're not as bad as St. Louis. We're not that bad. Holy God. Move your team. That dude's a 51. That guy's a 46. Jesus. Abysmal draft. Arizona, Pickett was okay. Again, in the sake of making it through this in a timely manner, not going to call out everybody at this point. It's an okay draft. I'll give my overall thoughts. I mean, it's a decent draft. Those last 4 picks sucked. Colorado got it right with Jack Petty. We didn't have him fully scouted. Only 55%, so we avoided him. His control is a bit concerning. He doesn't have elite velocity at the moment, but bunt god, Jack Petty. Cunningham's very good. Colorado finally made up for all those years of trash drafting. They finally got it right. Really good draft. The Dodgers got 2 C potentials who are okay. Pretty bad draft. The 2 guys they did get are all right. Whoo! Whew, okay, we did a very good job in this draft because this draft was a tire fire. 38 overall in the first round, Jamal Ludwig. The lowest overall first rounder I have ever seen. He'll be ready by age 40. When your last pick is your best pick and he's still only a C potential, San Diego, my God. San Fran got Doug Butcher first overall, pretty damn good, but as it turned out, actually, Jack Petty was better. They also got Ponce. Good player there in Tapia. Good draft. Very, very solid draft there in San Francisco. Baltimore. They did okay. C potentials are all solid. Boston. Yep, they fell for that outfielder. Goss is pretty good. Not a great draft for them, but not horrific. This is their best player. Here's Shelby Goss. Yankee. Look, we can't be upset about our first round pick or any first round pick we've ever had. My God. Whew. They got one good player in Marty Butler. Jesus. Tampa. I mean, Katimer's solid. DeJesus and Park. It's an okay draft. But again, D potentials are wild in this year's draft. Blue Jays. The two guys in the middle have some decent overalls. It's an okay draft. Nobody elite, but my God, by the standard. Mobsky, what's up, buddy? I forgot to get back to you, by the way, with that story, but it's all right. White Sox. This is the worst draft top to bottom I think I've ever seen. This is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Wow. Whoops. Cleveland. Good player there in Cordova. Good player in Amasa. Potential steal in Mateo. Not bad for Cleveland. By the standards of this draft, that's a phenomenal class. Detroit. Donnelly. Certainly not that bad. Very, very good draft for the Tigers. They got some low overalls. It's a very good draft for Detroit. Kansas City. Of course, Burrows ended up being half decent overall-wise. It was the attributes I was worried about. Solid draft for KC. Geronimo helped a lot. Solid. First two picks for Minnesota are abysmal. They did get Ramon Jimenez later on. That's a pretty mid-draft, but by the standards of this draft, not bad. Houston. Outside of Chen, that's a terrible draft. I mean, Ross and Welch might still make it, but damn. Anaheim. Ayala's not bad. It's another pretty mid-draft, not awful, certainly nowhere near great. The A's. Kenny Walsh is pretty damn good. I mean, okay class by the standard of this draft. Seattle. Bunt God Jim Jensen. Very good pick in Odom. Potential steal in Tom Cho. Another somewhere in the middle draft. Not abysmal, not amazing. Texas. 3 decent to solid players. I mean, we crushed this draft. We did. 3 decent players there for Atlanta. Eddie Miranda's the best of the bunch in terms of OVR. Miami. Solid picks. Nobody amazing. I mean, even Woody Teague. It's okay. Great draft by the standard of this draft. Oh, the Mets. At least Foss has a high overall. Tupman's solid. Oh, man. That was it. Philadelphia. Jesus. Decent overall for Batista and for Parks. And Reyes is a big-time project. Never seen so many D potentials in a draft. Moto's all right. Washington's pretty good for a second to third round pick. Palmeiro's not bad. Pretty good draft for Washington. That might make him top 10. Cubs. I mean, no shot for Ransom. Amasa's okay. Washington had a dude. I didn't even notice his name was Johnny Washington. I don't know why. I was only looking at overall potential, really. Cincy. I mean, at least Davis has a high OVR, and that's all they got. My God. One player draft for Cincy. Milwaukee. Who would have guessed Duff would have been C potential? An okay draft for him, but again, nobody elite. We got the best player in the draft again. I mean, at least in terms of starting overall, and very close to potential. We had the best draft class. Like, hands down, we had the best draft class again. There is still yet to be a single generational talent to show up in this franchise mode. There have been some very good players. But in terms of that, like, starting overall of an 80 type of thing, that has not happened. All right, as we are approaching 50 wins. Let's see, anybody ready? Ray Nunez, he'll go up to double. Jose Lima can get promoted to AAA, as can Ramon Hinojosa. Nobody else is ours. And then Chris Martins is Major League ready. He can certainly get the call up now. Okay. So let's see what we have here. 2 triple, 3 AA catchers, which we do not need. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's cut him off the roster. Okay, that's looking good. Obviously, we'll have to decide. I can check injuries, yeah, but I think it was Coronado that got hurt. 1 to 2 months with a broken hand. So he's out for the rest of the year. Liss is hurt. Obama, of course, still hurt from the MCL, but he is healing. So, 6+ months, it can be a career ender. It doesn't look like it's going to be a career ender for Obama. And he is still improving, which is great. First base. Got to get Kim into AA. Second base, again, Obama is hurt. Got 2 in triple, 2 in the majors. Let's get this guy up to AA. Since Obama's out for the year. We do need a third baseman. Let's get Bechtold back to the majors. And we're good there. Rick Gutierrez, man, this guy, he'll be in the majors before you know it. Shortstop with Flores, Calderon, and Freitas in triple. Cortez, Gutierrez in double. We need another guy in the majors. Let's make it Philip Arabu. Ray Ramirez is not ours. Lionel Warren, we can go ahead and cut. Then in left, of course, Gutierrez. You got Ott and Guzman in triple. Ochoa is on the IR. Oh, let's see, Major League. Shout out. I'm going to go with Smootherine. Let me know if I'm somehow misreading that. Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. AAA is 1, 2, 3, 4. And AA is technically 1, 2, 3, and 4. They got some injuries. That should be okay. So the Major League roster is at least set. All we should have to do is go to single A and just reassign some players here to help fill out their roster. except for those guys. We can leave AA one short. Stormy, what's up? We're doing good. We're doing good. No complaints. Okay, auto fix lineups. Let's go fix them ourselves now. All right, we're going to be running with 4 starters to finish up the year. Actually, let's just make Hidalgo a starter. Screw it. As we try to spread the wealth a little bit more. We'll have Watson, O'Neill as long relievers against so many righties. Just trying to make sure people get innings pitched, of course. AAA wise. We accidentally called up Edgar Esposito to AAA, but you know what? We will allow it. He will get absolutely destroyed. But that's okay. I had a feeling I accidentally did that. Yeah, tough spot to be in here, but end of the season, so not a big deal. Major League wise, nobody on the bench that should be in the lineup. AAA, only Hinojosa. Is there a way to fit Hinojosa onto the team? There is. We can play him at DH instead of Cal Stevenson, who is not actually ours. And then AA wise, nobody to worry about. Awesome. So as long as we have no injuries, the roster good to go. The A's walked 17 batters. At least it wasn't 17 straight, right? All right, and there we go. Might we hit 60? For those who bet the over, congratulations, a winner is you. AAA Ball Club only wins 49 games. AA Ball Club only wins 32. And we round out our season at 59 and 103. That much closer to finishing sub 100 losses. It'll be Tampa and the Anaheim Angels. Fuck the LA Angels. That's the Anaheim Angels. Minnesota, Baltimore, Houston, and Boston. On the other side, Milwaukee and LA, Miami, San Francisco, Chicago, and San Diego. We'll worry about the playoffs in a minute. Before that, let's do our normal look around the team. And we start off with, he's 29 years old already. It's Bobby Tom Brady. 88 overall now. Fresh off of his 4th full year in the majors. You saw he had the 4.16 ERA. We have Coronado with a 4.53 ERA, but he's up to an 87. Delgado over a 4 ERA. He's now a 78, so he'll probably crack an 80 overall. Chris Montanez, the rookie, had a 5.13 ERA, but still up to a 76. And then Johnny DaCosta up to a 74. So we did have some decent development amongst the starters. The only other starter that we have in the system, we do have Frank Christensen, who is trash. And then we have the 18-year-old Gary Dixon, who did go up to a 54 this year. So we still have hope for Gary Dixon in the future. But yeah, Frank Christensen is going to be a career minor leaguer. In terms of relievers, I mean, my God, we have plenty of them. Alberto Miranda, up to a 73. Hidalgo, a 72. Strickland, oh my God, he was awful. Strickland's a 72. Chris Martin's only got 2 innings pitched. He got lit up. Stevie Varela up to a 65. You got James Elliott at a 63. Lima's up to a 60. Kingman now a 55. Eddie Esposito is a trash bag. We are going to check the standings in a minute, too, to see if we were the worst team. And then for our closers, Kenny Watts up to an 84. And Espinoza now a 79. It's just 19 years old. Fielder still hanging in there at a 79. Get Galloway. Shout out to Tim Pesky. Pesky. Or could it be Tim Pez Key? Might the name not be Tim? Might it be all one word? I'm just going to call you Tim anyway. And then, of course, our last guy, Howard O'Neill, up to a 78. So we're still getting some good prospect development, obviously. Happy about that. At catcher, Dominic Wilkes. I mean, This guy's insane. We knew he was going to be very good. Maybe not the generational talent, but at the same time, this dude's only 25 years old, man. Career high, I'm pretty sure, in 23 home runs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 904 OPS. He is getting better every single year. 2026, of course, he had the September call-up. So Dominic Wilkes looks awesome. Ray Nunez, he'll be in Double-A full-time next year. So will David Sung. We don't really have hope for these two to ever be anything. Wilkes is our best player so far, hands down. I would still say a certain second baseman in Boston was better, but he had a moment. Juan Guerrero, 25 home runs. He's up to a 79. Vince Messer, up to a 77. Pablo was an A potential, wasn't he? But he's down to a B. If I'm not mistaken, Pablo was an A potential, so he's a long shot to ever make it. Second base, rough year for Obama, of course, with that injury. Corey Wills ended up playing in the majors, allegedly. He's up to a 60, and then Joe Dale's a 57. So we do still have a huge need for a natural second baseman, or we can convert somebody over. Macaulay, he's fine. He's getting better in some ways, getting worse in others. I mean, he's obviously a placeholder until someone like Rick Gutierrez is ready to go, and he's looking awesome. Meanwhile, Chad Dean, I mean, career minor leaguer. But yeah, Rick Gutierrez still needs to develop at the plate. Like him to work on his arm a little bit, but he's looking pretty good. Shortstop, Fernando Flores, up to a 79. If Calderon, he's kind of stalling out a little bit. Fritas, of course, was named the, second best prospect in baseball heading into the year. Cortez getting better. And then Israel Gutierrez is a bit of a long shot because of his age in OVR, but at least we have Fritas ahead of him. Still a D potential for Rene Gutierrez. He's just going to slowly get worse. Ott's up to a 64. Guzman up to a 63. Then in center, wow, so Lewis Courtney has tied DJ Hamlin. That was a phenomenal season for Courtney. +4, +5 in terms of rating. Whereas Hamlin drops to a C potential. Former, I believe, 7th overall pick, DJ Hamlin, drops down to a C, which means we are going to look at him as nothing more than a utility player, really. That's unfortunate. And then Hinojosa up to a 60. But yeah, that's a rough hit for DJ Hamlin. And then in right, David Sanchez. He's solid, but he did drop an overall point this year. Gaucho finally up to a 60, and then again, DJ Liss also suffered from an injury. He'll be in Double-A again next year. So, not straightforward prospect development. This was the first year that we really started to see some guys fall off the list, unfortunately. What we are going to do is go back to this screen because we might... we don't have an award winner. I didn't want to ruin it if we did. Former Pirate Tamar Johnson wins MVP for St. Louis. Oof. AL MVP once again, Shohei Ohtani of the Minnesota Twins, now back-to-back seasons for the 35-year-old. Craziness. Craziness. AL Cy Young, Jesus Luzardo in Boston. Look at Boston, man. Andrew Painter, huh? 2 out of 3 years now for Luzardo. NL, it was Paul, don't call me Lars Ulrich. We could have drafted that guy, too. Batting title. Wilkes finished 3rd behind Gavin Lux and winner CJ Abrams. AL, it was Wander Franco. Reliever of the year was Duran for the AL. And in the NL, it was Dylan Coleman. Dylan Coleman. Catcher, what's up? It's going well. It's going well. Rookie of the year in the NL, Paul, don't call me Lars Ulrich. No way. Johnny Bove. Boveve. Just believe. AL Rookie of the Year was John. The American Dream. Rhodes. We tried. I tried MLB The Show on PC yet. Went to get it on Game Pass, but I have not. I have not tried the whole Game Pass Ultimate thing, and if it would run properly on that. No idea. Yep, we 100% passed on Ulrich because the attributes looked rough. And they still do. Like, if I go to Milwaukee's roster... his attributes suck. Except... and it was pointed out before, if someone has an elite walks per 9, LOL. The rest of his attributes are mid as all hell. But he developed the most important attribute you can possibly have. How the hell this guy ended up with 207 strikeouts when his strikes per, or his Ks per 9 are a 70. Sim engine gonna sim engine, you know? You know. So, let's find out who is going to win the World Series in 2030. The answer, the Houston Astros. Boo. Boo. Sweeping the Chicago Cubs. What do the Astros look like at this point? Tucker, Detmers, Torque. Cody Bellinger. I guess he didn't stay on the Tigers for all that long, huh? The Astros win another one. World Series MVP, Kyle Tucker. And no shit, with a .538 average. AL domination, by the way. In the past couple years. Can the Pirates be the one to bring it home? No.